The quote of the night is, "Don't spin your wheels and stress. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and make a plan." And that is from Douglas Adams. And the reason I picked this quote is because making a plan has been very, very useful for me in the last couple of weeks. I had a lot to do. I've actually had a lot to do over the last several months. And sitting down, writing things out, and being able to take action on that checklist, that plan, has really helped make sure that I don't end up spinning my wheels too much and stressing and thinking about things too much. Um, it also helps that it was crunch time. I don't like necessarily being super busy in a crunch time, but I don't function poorly in it just because being a lifelong procrastinator has taught me how to cope. Maybe not awesomely, but like, for the most part, I still am like, okay, there is a point, and I used to describe it to my husband, where you just become action because you just have to move. I learned a lot of that skill from being in food service in particular, but also a little bit of retail. And it is translated into other aspects of my life, personal life, being a parent, and then also the work I do. I am predominantly responsible for a lot of the physical aspects in the library that I work in. So while I can do spreadsheet work and run reports and develop processes and write things down and do all of these other library, what you would think of as typical library work, I'm also the person that when we need to move things around, or when, somebody comes in and says, "Hey, I need these books," or "Hey, someone's showing up," or "Hey, this quick pivot," I can usually just become action and just do the things instead of thinking about the things too much. So that's really useful in crunch time. But yes, writing out a plan can help recenter yourself, especially if it's like a brain dump. You just dump it out, and then you're like, okay, and then what is the next step? And what is the next step? And what is the next step? As opposed to, I'm thinking of the 30 steps that are to come, and then I just end up stuck in that mode, as opposed to, okay, take the first step, take the next step, take the next step. So I am on the other side of most of my crunch stuff. Not to say there isn't still stuff to come. I'm already getting emails and things to do for getting set up for the next school year, which is still about a month away. But of course, there's more to come, because there's always more to come. Life doesn't stop just because we're tired and have already had a lot on our plate. But it feels good to have gotten to the other side of some of that stuff that I was overthinking for a while and not able to do much for, or had put off doing stuff for, before things start picking up again for the school year. And I run a big book sale event on Labor Day weekend at the library I work at. And so we're getting into the period of prep in earnest for that. But it's the fifth year we've done it. So, I mean, it's kind of old hat at this point, as far as knowing exactly what I need to do when and how to get ready for it. And, what happens if I'm a little bit behind, or if something kind of surprising happens. But, I have written out the plan for a lot of that stuff already. So it helps when curveballs come at me to incorporate those things, as opposed to adding them to the spinning, overthinking spiral I can get into. So, and you know what? I get to take a long 3-hour deep breath tonight by playing a video game, and that is wonderful. So, not to say I won't start going, oh, and there's this to do and there's that to do, because that's always possible in video games, but I am choosing that for fun, as opposed to having to do it for somebody else. So I don't know if that makes sense, maybe. Just advice I share because it has been useful for me. Thanks for dropping in. If you want to hang out, I stream live on Twitch and YouTube Thursday evenings and middays on Sunday. I hope you have a lovely day, night, time, wherever you are, whenever you are. I'll see you next time.